Imagine this for a moment. A hacker doesn't break into a company. He doesn't he doesn't steal money. Instead, he sells access. A digital key, a username and password, a quiet doorway into a corporate network. Today's story is a real case that shows how modern cybercrime works and why cybersecurity is no longer optional. This is not a movie. This is not speculation. This case was handled in a United States federal court. A Jordanian man admitted to selling illegal access to the computer networks of at least 50 companies around the world. Not one, not 5, 50. And he did it without ever launching the final attack himself. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, the individual is Firas al-Bashidi, a 40-year-old Jordanian national. Online, he used several aliases, including R1Z Farah Bashidi and Fidas Bashichi. Under these names, he operated quietly inside underground cybercrime markets, places where access to real corporate networks is bought and sold like a product. What is an initial access broker? Cybersecurity experts call this role an initial access broker. An access broker is not the person who destroys systems. He is not the one who demands ransom. His job is simpler and more dangerous. He gets inside first. He finds weak passwords, exposed services, or stolen credentials. And once he's inside, he sells that access to others. Think of it like this. He doesn't rob the bank. He sells the blueprints, the alarm codes, and the keys. The process followed a clear pattern. First, stolen or compromised login credentials were obtained, sometimes through brute force attacks, sometimes through previously leaked data. Second, these credentials were tested until access to a company's internal network was confirmed. Third, that access was advertised privately in cybercrime forums. Finally, criminal groups, often ransomware gangs, purchased that access using crypto. From there, they took over. The access broker disappears. The attackers move in. Why this role is so important. Modern ransomware attacks are rarely random. They are planned, organized, and divided into roles. Access brokers are now one of the most valuable players in cyber. They save attackers time. They reduce risk, and they make large-scale attacks possible. Without access brokers, many ransomware attacks would never happen. In this case, U.S. authorities identified the activity and launched an investigation. The suspect was arrested in Georgia, where he was residing at the time. In July 2024, he was extradited to the United States through the Department of Justice's Office of International Affairs. This alone shows how seriously governments now treat cybercrime, even when it crosses borders. The legal consequences. In U.S. federal court, the defendant pleaded guilty to charges related to fraud and unauthorized access to protected computer systems. Sentencing has been scheduled for May 11th, 2026, before a U.S. district judge. He now faces up to 10 years in prison, a fine of up to $250,000, or potentially double the financial damage caused by the crimes, whichever is higher. Why this case matters. This case is important for one reason. It exposes how cybercrime really works today. It is no longer just hackers in basements. It is a global, underground economy. Access brokers, ransomware operators, money launderers, all connected, and it often starts with something very small. ファイナルメッセージ A weak password, an exposed service, an unpatched system. Any one of these can become a digital key. Cybersecurity is not just an IT issue anymore. It is a business issue, a legal issue, and sometimes a national security issue. And remember, every week, password opens a door. Stay secure.